Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Backpack Trader Training Room for Wednesday, June 18th, 2025. Please note the required risk disclosure. This room is for educational and information purposes only. It is not financial advice. Trade your own charts, not mine. Trading of this type carries substantial risks and should only be attempted with funds you can afford to do without. Risk capital. And we have an inventory report at 10:30 today, so we'll set that aside. Behind on the markups this morning. All right, looks like first trade is the short. Stops and reverses for a very small loss. Did we get target 1? 68. Yep, we got target 1. So that was 12 ticks. Pick up 1, 13. What did we lose? Actually, no, we picked up 10 ticks. 10, 11 ticks. Because of the stop and reverse. We go 49 to 58, 918. So we're down. So yeah, we need another trade. YM with YM with several trades there. Now that looks like an avoidable long. Let's see what the short looks like. 53, 59, and 6 ticks. 9 ticks and it's back up there, or 9 seconds and it's back there. Probably avoidable. So it looks like the long trade is where we should be now, not a stop and reverse. And there is our soybeans. As a potential short trade, went too far on the long. That was an add-on long. All right, pound Aussie in the and that got target. Let's see, target 2. Yep, we did get target 2. 2 positions come off there. That will be a power of quitting situation. Micro Russell bouncing around, giving us trades. So we get target 2. 2 positions there. 12 pips apiece. We trail out at 688. Unleaded. Well, what's it doing this morning? All right, that trade is too early. The short makes a stop and reverse to long, gets target 1 traders, and then the short gets target 2. If you need it, if you're not positive, this is a valid short. If you were positive, then you're power quitting. Okay. And this one looks like it's going to go, it may go target 2 here. Yep, looks like that went target. Yeah, there's target 2. So that should get anybody positive. Short on crude as well. And I'm sitting here watching this and not watching my charts. So I missed that trade. So unleaded is done. Pound Aussie is done. YM is done. Or well, the YM is still in the long trade. That was its first trade, avoiding the 2 prior trades. Now, Micro Russell, we get a short trade that stops and reverses to long. The long gets to target 1, and looks like that's all. We get a break-even stop out. So we have a loss and a break-even there. We are in the short on soybeans. Unleaded with a big trade here, as well as crude. Crude going through both targets there, so that'll get crude positive. YM stops out. $19 and $30 on that trade on crude. 49 ticks, definitely get that positive. I'll put unloaded over here. Over top of Pound Aussie since it's done. And let's see, that long trade is good on Micro NQ. This is a big trade. Let's see how big it is. Big enough for target 1. So first goal is target 1. Micro Russell short trade. Sorry, I've seen this trade before. It's exactly as I'd marked up the last short that I saw early this morning. That triggers in. Crude stopped out. So it's done. Unleaded stopped out. I'll put it back where it belongs. So we have micro NQ, micro Russell, and that's it. We've already had and soybeans. We've already had 4 charts complete. That power of quitting. Pretty good move there on crude, up and down. Getting us some good trades. Micro NQ needing to push up through the 200 EMA to get to target. And taking a second loss on micro Russell. Yeah, we got about 30 minutes. We can follow these charts, these 3 charts. Crude and unleaded done this morning. Crude took 3 trades. Unleaded also took 3. Three trades in the micro Russell, and we have 2 losses and a break even. There is target on the micro NQ. 32 points, I believe it was. Yeah, 32 points. So we go to target 2 now. Stop comes to break even. Entry +1, 952.5. Long trade setup on micro Russell, trade number 4. And that did touch just now. Needs to move up 2 ticks for our 14 tick minimum. $24.5. Should put the entry on this short trade. And soybeans, and we're back at the entry again. All right, we got above the 200. Now we got to push higher with micro NQ. It's kind of stuck on the 200 right now. YM is pushing high, seems to be pushing higher. Micro Russell, not sure if it's going to push higher or not. But it definitely has us in the long. Micro Russell pushing higher. Micro Russell, Micro NQ, YM, all three pushing higher. Need a little bit more, need significantly more from Micro NQ to get to target 2. Need a little bit more to get to money management on the Micro Russell. Soybeans testing the 50 EMA. And back to the entry. This may be a back to the entry kind of day on soybeans. Pretty tight range there. Looks like about 6.5 points. And not a lot of bars since yesterday evening. Session open. Money management on the Micro Russell. That would be no worse than break even. Micro NQ working at 22,000. There's a push above. 22,005 flat for target. We got within a point. Yeah, there was 5 flat. We're actually a little high. I would trade for profit there, 5 flat. Yeah, target 2 is 5.5 or 6.5. It made it anyway. So we have target 2, targets 1 and 2. Good size win here. First trade. Looking for target 3 for our final goal target. That's our final fixed position, and we'll be on the trailer. Looks like we'll start trailing somewhere around 17, 18. Target 3 win on Micro Russell. Maybe target. Yeah, target 4, 3, and 4 on the Micro Russell, trailing now. 23.4. A little bit of a pullback on all 3 indices. Soybeans testing its 200 EMA. See if it'll fall below that. There's starting to trail on the Micro NQ. 21.99 and a quarter, 9.99 and a quarter. Just below that 22,000 mark. I am trying to hang down to the, I believe that's a 14 EMA. Headed back up again. Pushing through target 4 again. Session high at, and there's a touching the session high at 26.7. Setting a new high at 26.8. 002.25 on the micro NQ for the stop. Trailer now exceeding 22,000. 23.9 for the micro Russell stop. And soybeans is back to the entry. Looking like that kind of day. Soybeans is stuck in between the 250 and the 200 right now. It's 50 pinching down, so we should see a break one way or the other sometime in the not too terribly distant future. 24.9 for micro Russell. New short trade on crude, and we hit. Micro NQ comes back, doesn't get to target 3, we trail out at 002.25. Solid win there. Target 1, target 2, and almost target 2 on the trailer for the remaining 2 positions. So that is 32.54.25, and 2 more, pretty close to 50 points. 180 points on that one. Soybeans back at the 50 EMA. Micro NQ is flat. Micro Russell still long, 24.9 for the stop. New session high at 28.2. 21.28.2. No 10 o'clock mini session on crude this morning. We'll be waiting for the crude oil inventory report at 10:30. The room will be dark tomorrow. Tomorrow is a federal holiday, Juneteenth. No changes. YM with a short trade. YM set a new session high, 42,682. And soybeans back to the entry. Once again, a reminder that tomorrow is a federal holiday. Markets will be closed. Futures markets, I believe, are on an early close at noon. I think noon Central, 1 Eastern. Check your broker's holiday calendar. I will not have the room open tomorrow. See what things going to be happening at 10 o'clock. Short trade in the micro NQ. Into that trade. A little bit larger than normal trade. Not big enough to move the target to target 1. So we'll really look for target 2. And things getting spicy at 10 o'clock. Micro Russell stops out. Short trade in the micro NQ. Testing the 200, 200 and the 50. And testing the 200 on soybeans also. Getting a little bit more activity than I kind of expected with the Fed. This being Fed day. Quite a bit of activity at 10 o'clock. Soybeans doing its zebra stripe thing, going back and forth between the 50 and the 200. 50 still pinching down. So we should start getting excursions one way or the other. And micro NQ peeking back above the entry. Stop and reverse to long. At 210 and a quarter, or 010 and a quarter. Yeah. So we are long. So that is a win and a loss. Break even. Make for 10 and a half. Long trade on the micro Russell. It's trade number 5 on the micro Russell. Soybeans taking heat. Looks like the break may be up. Money management on micro Russell. And a break even stop out on the micro Russell. That quickly. 27.9. Or is it 27.8? Entry was, entry was 27.6, so it's 27.7 was our exit point. Two losses, two break evens, and a win. Good with a long trade. We've got about just under 10 minutes. You can continue to watch this. And we can take a break even on micro NQ as well. $22,010 and a half. So both of our catapult charts, micro Russell, micro NQ, are on. We get a stop and reverse. That egg, just to mark it out on the close of that bar. And we don't have a get in sync because that is 73.0. Now actually our 6 ticks is 74.5 because of the 2 tick chase and the 2 tick stop and reverse adjustment. So we are still in this. 74.5 for money management. And our first actionable target at 75 flat. 5 trades on the micro Russell. We've got 1 to go. Three trades on the micro NQ. Let's see. 3 trades or 2 losses, whichever comes first on the micro NQ. Crude, strong down move now. With all this movement in crude around 10 o'clock, I would expect the inventory report to be fairly muted. Unfortunately, micro Russell we are out of. As we do move that stop intra bar, calculator moves it at the close of the bar. I'm talking about that one and not watching. We have another long trade on micro NQ. Second target is a session high. Soybeans with a new trade at 75 flat. That is valid since we never came back to our prior entry. Micro NQ surviving just barely. Micro Russell, target 3 win and target 4. So that's another target 3 and 4 for our final trade. Oh no, that's not going to be a win because that's a break even. My mistake, and bouncing around, that would have moved up too. Actually, no, we would still. I made a mistake. I didn't adjust my money management so that we would still be in that trade. This trade that this bar that came back with the wick did not take us out because we didn't hit money management until right there. So we are in this trade. Watching too many things happen. All right. Taking a full stop out on, so that's a second loss on the micro NQ. A win, 2 losses, and a break even. We're in trade number 5 on the micro Russell. Still. Soybeans with the bright, strong breakout to the long side. Setting new session highs at 76.5, 1076.5. $28.9 for the micro Russell stop. $29.4. And we got a couple of minutes. before I'll need to shut this stream down and prep for a new stream for the crude oil inventory report. $21.32.5 for this session high on the micro Russell. Session high on the micro NQ at 22,064 3/4. $29.9 for the micro Russell stop. And we're back to the entry again for soybeans. So we went 71.5, 73.25. That's 2.25 points. 9 ticks, so it's 9 points we're down. This trade certainly can make that up easily. 13 ticks to target 1, 21 to target 2. But it's time to call it a morning. Micro Russell is long, micro NQ is flat, soybeans is long. Other 4 charts, crude, unleaded, YM, and the pound Aussie, all hitting power of quitting, all positive. So I will bid everybody farewell for the morning session. I'll be back in about 10 minutes for the crude oil inventory report. And we will see everybody then.